Walking every day after 60 may be stealing your strength instead of saving it. That's why stairs feel harder. That's why chairs feel lower. That's why groceries feel heavier. Walking keeps the heart pumping, but it does almost nothing for the raw power that keeps you on your feet. Today, I'm going to show you 5 exercises that are better than walking for seniors over 60. One of them multiplies the power of all the others, and almost no one does it. I watched a woman in her late 60s who walked daily still collapse trying to rise from a toilet. Weeks after learning these moves, she stood tall again, without fear. This is not about gyms or long workouts. It's about protecting your freedom. Comment below which one you'll try first. I'm Dr. Suzuki Sato, one of Japan's most trusted physical therapists. And for over 40 years, I've seen how seniors lose independence when they think walking is enough. Let's begin with the sit to stand, the single move that decides if you stay independent or not. Walking is the one thing everyone tells you to do after 60. Doctors say it. Friends repeat it. The little step counter on your phone cheers you on. And yes, walking is good. It gets your heart pumping, clears your head, and helps your lungs. But here's the hidden truth that almost nobody tells you. Walking alone does not protect you from the things that actually steal independence. Think about the moments when life gets hard. It's not during a calm walk around the block. It's when you try to stand up from the couch and your legs won't cooperate. It's when a bag of groceries feels like a boulder in your hands. It's when your balance suddenly betrays you in the bathroom at night. That's when accidents happen. That's when people fall. And that's when walking by itself shows its limits. Here's why. Walking is steady. Same pace, same rhythm, but daily life is unpredictable. Chairs are low, stairs are uneven, carpets shift, curbs come out of nowhere. Walking doesn't prepare your muscles for those surprises, and the older we get, the less room we have for surprises. Now I want you to think about this for a moment. Have you ever walked every day but still felt weaker? Have you noticed your legs shaking when you try to stand? Or that lifting something simple, like laundry, feels harder than it should? If that sounds familiar, it's not your imagination. And it's not just aging. It's the body losing strength in areas walking never touches. But here's the good news. That weakness is not permanent. Studies from both Japan and the United States show that seniors, even well into their 70s and 80s, can regain strength, balance, and confidence with the right exercises. Not long workouts, not complicated machines, just a few movements that mimic the challenges of real life. And that's what we're going to cover today. I've seen seniors who walked 3 miles every single day still struggle to get off the toilet without using their arms. And then, within a month of adding the right exercises, they stood up with confidence. No more rocking back and forth, no more fear, just power they thought was gone for good. That's why this lesson is so important. Because the 5 exercises I'm going to share aren't about looking better or burning calories. They're about giving you back the ability to live safely, to rise from a chair, to carry your groceries, to move around your home without worrying that your legs will give out. Here's something powerful to remember. Your body is never too old to adapt. Muscles still respond to training. Balance can still improve. Even reaction time, the speed at which your body catches itself, can sharpen again. And you don't need a gym. You don't need fancy gear. You need a chair, a safe floor, and a few minutes. That's it. Now I'd like you to do something for me. Think about where you feel the most unsteady in your own life. Is it when you get out of bed, when you carry bags, or when you step onto a curb? Picture it clearly. Then, if you feel comfortable, type it in the comments. Why? Because when you share your experience, it helps me guide you better, and it also shows someone else that they're not alone. Let me give you one more piece of hope before we move forward. Progress doesn't have to be huge to matter. Even if you only do a smaller version of the exercise, that's progress. Even if you use support from a chair or counter, that's progress. Every repetition you complete sends a signal to your body that you're not done yet, that you're still building strength, and those signals add up quickly. So the truth is simple. Walking is good, but it's not enough. If you want to keep living independently, rising, carrying, and moving through your day without fear, you need more. And the more comes from these 5 exercises. Each one is designed to give you back a piece of strength walking never could. And it all starts with the first one, the sit to stand. This single movement is the foundation. It's the key to getting in and out of chairs, toilets, cars, almost everything you do. And once you master it, everything else gets easier. If there's one exercise that decides whether you stay independent or not, it's this one, the sit to stand. Think about it. Every time you get out of bed, off the couch, or up from the toilet, you're doing this movement. If you can't, life suddenly changes. You need help. You lose confidence. And that's when independence slips away. But here's the good part. Sit to stand is also one of the simplest, most powerful exercises you can train. It's real-life strength. And anyone can start at their own level, whether you're steady on your feet or still building back up. Let's break it down. Imagine sitting on a firm chair not too low. Your feet are flat on the ground, about shoulder width apart. Now slide them back just a little so your knees are bent comfortably. Lean forward slightly, like you're reaching for something on the table. Then press your feet into the ground and stand tall. Don't rush, don't fling yourself up, just steady, controlled strength. Once you're standing, pause, then slowly sit back down with control. That pause matters. It teaches your body to own the movement, not collapse into it. Here's why it works. This exercise trains power, the ability to create strength quickly. Power is what lets you catch yourself if you trip. It's what helps you rise without help, and it's what walking doesn't give you. Walking is endurance. Sit to stand is power, and that's the difference between feeling shaky and feeling secure. Now you might be wondering, what if my knees hurt? What if I can't stand without using my hands? What if I feel too weak? That's okay. Every version counts. If you need to use your hands to push off your thighs, do it. If you need to start from a higher chair, stack a cushion. If you can't stand yet, press your feet into the floor as if you're about to. Push hard, then relax. Even that sends signals to your muscles that they're still alive and ready to grow stronger. I've seen people in their 80s start with 2 or 3 reps, holding on to a chair for support. Within weeks, they were standing taller, walking steadier, and even surprising their families with how much easier daily life felt. One man told me, "I can finally get up from my recliner without rocking 3 times. That's independence coming back. And it started with sit to stand." Now let me give you a quick tip that makes this exercise safer and more effective. Exhale as you stand. Breathe out through your mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Why? Because that simple breath helps your body brace from the inside, giving you more stability and control. Try it once and you'll feel the difference right away. Here's something else to keep in mind. Sit to stand isn't just about muscles, it's about confidence. The more you practice, the more your brain believes you can trust your body again. That confidence spills into everything else, stairs, curbs, carrying bags. Suddenly you're not hesitating, you're moving. And that's freedom. So, here's my challenge for you. Try a few sit-to-stands today. Do 1 set in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and 1 in the evening. Even if it's only 2 or 3 reps at a time, that's progress. Write in the comments how many you were able to do. You'll not only track your own improvement, you'll also inspire someone else who feels like they're starting too far behind. And remember, small, consistent effort always beats doing nothing. Even 1 honest repetition is better than none. Over time, those tiny wins stack up. That's how you build real-world strength, the kind that keeps you living on your own terms. Walking will always be good for your health, but walking alone will never give you the power to rise from a chair with confidence. That's why sit to stand is first on the list. Master this, and you unlock the foundation for everything else. Next, we'll add a movement that strengthens your hips, the muscles that guide your knees and keep your steps steady. It's the step up. And once you learn it, you'll see why hip strength may be the single biggest key to protecting your balance as you age. If sit to stand is the foundation, then step-ups are the walls that hold everything together. Think about the last time you went up a stair, even a single step. Did you feel your knees ache? Did your balance shift? Did your hips wobble? That's a clear sign your body is missing strength in the muscles that guide and protect your legs. Here's the truth. Strong hips keep you steady. Weak hips let your knees take the beating. And that's when pain sets in. That's when falls happen. That's when stairs become something you avoid. But step-ups, they rebuild the hips. They teach your body to climb, carry, and move forward without fear. Now picture this. You're standing in front of a low step. It could be the first stair in your house, a sturdy step stool, or even a thick book stack pressed against a wall. You place your whole foot on that step, heel and ball of the foot together. Then, pressing through the foot, you rise tall, bringing your other leg up to meet it. No rush, no jerky motion, just steady control. Then you step down slowly, 1 foot at a time. That's 1 repetition. Sounds simple, right? But here's why it matters. This single move trains the muscles in your hips and thighs that keep your pelvis level. When those muscles are strong, your knees stop collapsing inward, your balance feels steadier, and every other movement, walking, standing, even carrying, feels more secure. Now you might be wondering, what if steps scare me? What if I can't trust my balance? That's okay. Use your kitchen counter, a railing, or even the wall beside you. Rest your fingers lightly for support. You don't need to climb high. Start with a small step. Even lifting your foot a few inches onto a sturdy surface counts. What matters most is control. Let me tell you about a man I worked with in his 70s. He avoided stairs for years. He'd circle around just to use ramps. But he started with step-ups on a stack of books, barely 3 inches high. Slowly, he grew stronger. Months later, he was walking stairs without hesitation. His words, "I don't feel like I'm dragging my legs anymore." That's the power of step-ups. Here's a tip that makes this exercise safer and more effective. Focus on driving through your heel as you step up. Feel the push from your glute, not just your knee. And keep your chest tall, eyes forward, not down. This small detail shifts the work where it belongs, into your hips, and saves your knees from unnecessary stress. Now let's talk about those knees. If you feel discomfort, lower the step. If pain persists, shorten your range of motion. Even practicing a half step, where your foot taps a step and comes back down, builds the same pathway without the strain. And if you use a cane, step with your strong leg first while the cane supports you. There's always a safe way to start. Here's something important. Step-ups aren't just about strength. They teach your brain and muscles to work together. That coordination, scientists call it neuromuscular control, is what helps you recover when you stumble. And that's the difference between catching yourself and falling. Now I'd like to ask you, where do you struggle most with steps? Is it climbing stairs at home? Is it stepping onto a curb? Or even getting into the car? Share it in the comments, because when you name the challenge, you've taken the first step toward fixing it, and you'll show others they're not alone. And let's be real, life has steps everywhere, front porches, curbs, sidewalks, even the shower. Avoiding them only shrinks your world smaller, but training them, just a few reps at a time, opens it back up again. Suddenly you're not dreading stairs, you're moving through them, you're free again. So remember this, sit to stand builds your power to rise. Step-ups build your hips to carry you higher. Together they give you the foundation for independence. And when we add the next exercise, balance training, you'll see how the body learns to stay steady even when the ground shifts beneath you. Power in your legs and strength in your hips are important. But here's the truth. Even strong legs can't save you if your balance gives out. One slip, one wobble, one step in the dark, and everything changes. A single fall can mean weeks in a hospital bed, or worse, losing the independence you've worked your whole life to protect. That's why balance training is just as important as strength. And the good news? You don't need fancy equipment. You don't even need much space. You can start right at your kitchen counter. Here's the simplest way to train balance. Stand tall, then place one foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe, like you're walking on a narrow line. Hold the counter with a finger if you need it. Now take a slow breath. Turn your head slightly to the left. Pause, then slowly turn it to the right. Notice what happens? Your body starts working harder to keep you steady. That's the magic. You're training your inner ear, your eyes, and your muscles all at once. Why does this work so well? Because life doesn't stand still. You bend to pick something up. You look around a corner. You hear a sound and turn your head. All of those tiny motions can throw balance off, but when you practice it, your body learns to recover. That recovery can mean the difference between catching yourself or falling. Now you might be thinking, what if I feel dizzy? What if this feels too shaky? That's okay. Widen your stance a little, or just place one foot slightly in front of the other instead of heel to toe. Every adjustment still trains your system. And here's something powerful. Even practicing with support, like a hand on the counter, still builds balance. You're teaching your brain and muscles to work together again. I once worked with a woman who avoided nighttime trips to the bathroom because she was terrified of falling. She started with this exercise using both hands on the counter. Weeks later, she needed just one finger. Months later, she walked confidently across her bedroom in the dark without holding on to anything. She told me, "I feel like I have my life back." That's the kind of confidence balance training builds. Let's pause for a moment. Think about where balance feels hardest for you. Is it when you stand up quickly, when you're in the shower, when you turn around too fast? Drop your answer in the comments. Because once you identify your toughest moment, you can start working directly on it. And your story might help someone else realize they're not alone. Here's a little trick to make balance training even safer and more effective. Focus your eyes on a still point. It could be a spot on the wall, a picture frame, or even your own reflection in a window. When your eyes have an anchor, your balance improves. Then, as you get stronger, practice looking away. That's how you teach your body to stay steady even when life distracts you. And remember, you don't need long sessions. Even 30 seconds of practice a few times a day can create change. Consistency beats intensity. The more often you remind your body how to balance, the more it sticks. The truth is, balance fades if you don't train it, but it can return quickly when you do. And once it does, everything else feels safer. Walking outside, reaching for a shelf, turning in the shower, even carrying groceries. It all feels steadier. So let's add this to your toolbox. You've already got sit to stand for power. You've got step-ups for hips. Now, with balance training, you've got protection against the one thing that ends independence fastest, a fall. And next, we'll build on this by bringing the upper body back into the picture. Because it's not just about legs and balance. Your posture and pulling strength matter too. That's where the next exercise, rows, comes in. And it may surprise you how much your back muscles control your stability. Most people don't realize this. Your back muscles are just as important for balance as your legs. If your back is weak, your shoulders round forward, your head drifts down, and your chest caves in. That posture doesn't just look tired, it pulls your whole body off balance. And when your body is off balance, falls happen. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself hunching over while sitting at the table, or leaning forward when you walk? That's a sign your back muscles aren't doing their job. And if they're not, your legs have to work twice as hard to keep you steady. The fix? Rows. Rows are simple, safe, and powerful. Here's how to do them. Grab a light band, a towel, or even just use a door frame. Stand tall with your feet shoulder width apart. Hold the band or towel in front of you. Now, pull your elbows back and down like you're trying to slide them into your back pockets. Squeeze your shoulder blades gently together. Pause, then slowly release forward. That's one repetition. The key here isn't speed, it's control. Slow, steady movements retrain your back to open your chest and pull you upright. When your chest opens, your lungs expand better, your breathing improves, and your balance becomes easier. Suddenly, walking feels lighter, standing tall feels natural, and reaching overhead doesn't throw you off as much. Here's something I want you to notice. The first few times you do rows, you may feel muscles between your shoulder blades wake up in a way they haven't in years. That's good. That's your body remembering how to hold itself again. Let me give you an example. I once worked with a man in his late 60s who walked every day but still tripped often. His problem wasn't weak legs, it was posture. His head drifted forward and he couldn't see the ground clearly. We added rows 3 times a week. Within a month, he was standing taller and walking steadier. He told me, "I feel like I can finally see where I'm going." Now, I know some of you are thinking, well, what if my shoulders hurt? That's a fair concern. If you have pain, shorten the range. Pull just halfway. Or do wall pulls. Place your palms on each side of a doorway and gently pull your chest forward as if you're walking through. You'll still get the benefit without straining your joints. Here's another tip. Breathe out as you pull. Just like with sit to stand, that exhale helps your core tighten, which gives you even more stability. It's a small adjustment, but it makes a big difference. Let me ask you something. Do you notice yourself rounding forward when you sit or walk? Drop a quick yes or no in the comments. Why? Because once you acknowledge it, you're more likely to fix it. And your answer might help someone else realize they've been doing the same thing. Now let's talk about why this matters so much for fall prevention. Weak posture shifts your center of gravity forward. That means if you trip or get bumped, your body has less time to react before you're on the ground. Strong posture pulls you back into alignment, giving you more reaction time. That reaction time is what saves you from a fall. And here's something powerful to remember. Posture training doesn't just protect you physically, it changes how you feel. Standing taller makes you feel more confident, and confidence leads to more movement. The more you move, the stronger you get. It's a cycle that builds on itself. So rows aren't about vanity, they're about independence. They're about breathing easier, seeing clearer, and walking steadier. Add this into your routine, just a few reps at a time. Over days and weeks, you'll feel your body open up. And when it does, every other exercise becomes easier. Now you've got sit to stand for power, step-ups for hips, balance training for stability, and rows for posture. But we're not done yet, because the last piece is the one that ties everything together, carries. And once you learn how to train them, you'll understand why being able to move weight safely is the final test of real independence. We've now covered 5 exercises that can do more for your independence than walking alone. Sit to stand gave you back the power to rise. Step-ups rebuilt the hips that guide and protect your knees. Balance training taught your body to stay steady when life throws surprises. Rows pulled your posture tall and strong, and carries connected everything together, giving you the real-world strength to move through daily life with confidence. But here's the thing. None of this works if it stays in your head. The only way it helps is if you start. Even 1 repetition today is a win. 1 sit to stand, 1 balance hold at the counter, 1 short carry down the hallway. Those small actions matter more than the longest walk that never trains what you truly need. Let me ask you, of the 5 exercises, which one feels most important for you right now? Is it standing up stronger? Is it feeling steady in the dark? Or is it carrying something without fear? Tell me in the comments. Your answer may give someone else the courage to begin. And remember, your body is never too old to adapt. Science proves it. Muscles respond. Balance improves. Confidence grows. I've seen it happen again and again with people your age who thought it was too late. It's not too late for you either. So, here's my challenge. Choose one of these 5 exercises and do it today. Just once. That's all it takes to begin. Then, tomorrow, do it again. Keep stacking those wins and watch how fast your body remembers its strength. I'm Dr. Suzuki Sato, and my mission is to help every senior over 60 live stronger, steadier, and freer. Let's take this step together.